Hello and welcome to Rated G for Grok. I'm Grok. Today we will be discussing my new obsession, the movie Obsession. So it was directed by Curry Barker, who I thought was a renowned, hilarious TikToker until I found out he also makes really good movies and also apparently short films on YouTube. Shout out my editor for knowing that. Sorry for being an ignorant fool, but I have changed my perspective on what he now does. He's not a TikToker anymore. He is now a director in the eyes of Grok. So I had a very unique experience going into this movie. I do not watch previews before I see a movie. I try and go in as blind as possible. So I didn't know who the director was. I didn't know who was going to be in the movie. I didn't really know what the movie was going to be about. See horror movie, go see horror movie. That's kind of the way I do it. I get in there and who do I see? What's his name again? Cooper Tomlinson, who is also Curry's best friend in all of the TikTok videos I've seen. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I, hit my partner next door and I say, hey, that guy's in a lot of TikToks I really like. Next thing I know, post-film, who is the director? The other guy in those TikToks I really like. This obviously is not the first time that we've seen someone who either makes skits or short films or, strictly on YouTube videos transform into a really renowned director. And I cannot wait to see more of his work going forward. The story follows a man who's woefully in love with his best friend and does not have the heart to tell her. And instead of confessing his feelings, he makes a harmless wish on what he thinks is a toy, and bada boom, bada bing, not a toy. It comes true and it unravels in a way that he had not foreseen. This plot has been done many a time. The idea of evil wish gone wrong is one of my favorites, okay? I absolutely love the idea of one word being wrong will lead to insane misfortune versus everything you could have ever want. My favorite example is the monkey paw. I think Don't Shoot Me is the origination of this concept. The djinn, which is where the modern day genie comes from. Basically, the usual twist is no matter what you wish for, something horrible will happen, right? You wish for a new car, it blows up. You wish for $1 million, it was stolen from a bank. You're in prison the rest of your life. We see it in Twilight Zone. We see it in Monkey Paw. We see it in Bruce Almighty. We see it all in Wishmaster. We've seen it a million different times through media. What really stuck with me is how they went about this concept in a much more unique and modern way. It's hard to do something that's been done multiple times and still find a way to make it new, and they did that, and it was amazing. I think for a long time, very recently, horror movies have been kind of boring as hell lately. Okay, there, I'll say it. As someone who almost never misses a horror movie, I live, laugh, love horror movies. I have been bored for a long time, and I think a lot of people share that sentiment. I have not been scared in a long time. I have not felt like a movie's been very memorable for me in a long time. Now, the most recent one was Weapons. And I think there's a very common theme in this. For a long time, horror has been ghosts, demons, ghouls, monsters, zombies, vampires. What's really cool about this is I think we forgot about witchcraft. And I don't mean like, obvious witch in the woods, making things fly around. But the concept of a lack of control or something that we may not understand the rules of and seeing the effects of it. And that was portrayed recently in Weapons and as well as this movie. So a lot of people commented on, how the stick works or anything. But at the end of the day, it's witchcraft. Anything where like wishes or magic, that's all another guise for witchcraft. And I think people forget how terrifying magic can be. And this movie did a really good job of bringing that back to light. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. Okay, are you with me? This is what we're doing. Part 1, I will rate this movie the only way I know how. No spoilers, the P.A.U.L system. Okay? And you may be like, Grace, I've never heard of the P.A.U.L system. I don't even know who you are. Let me explain. I don't know why I do it this way. But these are the things that seem important to me in a movie. Okay? Shoot me. It's my video. You sit there, okay? P.A.U.L system. Plot, acting, uniqueness, likability. Okay? That one's a work in progress. Be spoiler free. Later, I'll tell you when, will be a spoiler deep dive into what I thought of the movie, what questions it brought, how I felt about it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch the movie. Come back and argue with me in the comments. Plot, okay? We also rate them out of 5. Again, don't question me. Seriously. I was very, very impressed. A few things. It's definitely predictable, but I think that's what made it so special. It was the tenseness of almost pattern recognition, knowing what's going to happen and not being able to stop it. It was something whereas I could really see people following these logical next steps and falling short every time. I know this falls under you. Again, I make the rules, but I loved how unique the plot was. This is something that has been done before. Wish gone wrong. Man gets what he wants and it isn't what he expected. We've done this before. They found a way to make it say something. So I'll go into that a little bit later, but there is a very obvious, on the nose, yet well said underlying message to this film, which again, we'll go under later. I'm going to throw cinematography in here as well as writing into plot because I think those are large components. What are you, stupid? So cinematography, there were so many scenes that were so masterfully done. They brought attention right where it needed to be. They set the tone beautifully. The script, there are monologues in this movie that will stick with me. There are things I have never heard in a horror movie or seen in a horror movie. One thing that was really interesting about this movie was that there was humor in it. It was not a dark comedy. It was not a horror comedy, but somehow they found ways to sneak humor in at the perfect moments. And they would flip-flop between it being funny and everyone's laughing out loud to immediately the most up thing you've seen in a long time. And it was horrifying. It brought you to a funny place and then ripped you back to a scary place. It made you unsettled and uncomfortable, and you were able to relate to a lot of the moments and then immediately snap back into, oh wait, this is a horror movie. It was really amazing to watch. I haven't seen anything just like that where it wasn't blatantly comedy, you know, like Cabin in the Woods or Dale and Tucker versus Evil, but somehow found a way to almost whiplash the audience into not quite knowing how to feel. I think plot was perfect. Honestly, sue me. Okay, I'm easy to please. I'm a happy guy. I'd say 5 out of 5. I was really impressed. I think that one big thing that I hear everyone complain about in horror movies is no one would do that. And the things that people did and the way that they acted and the way they reacted and their next logical steps, like I said, were very human and very relatable. And I think that it was a very avoidable thing that happened. And that made it more interesting. Okay, next up, acting. Don't even get me freaking started. Indy, if you see this, amazing. Congratulations. Genuinely magnificent. I had not seen anyone in this movie besides my 2 little goofballs from TikTok, okay? And somehow I was flabbergasted at everyone's performance. The main actress, Indy, I want to say her name right, please, please, please. Oh my God. I don't want to give away too much, but that was definitely the best performance I had seen in a horror in a long time. And she came out of nowhere. I cannot wait to see more of her, but not one actor in this movie pulled me out of it. The main actor himself, Bear, did an amazing job. He made a character that was believable, again, relatable. It's someone that we had seen before, a man that we had seen before in the past. Every one of us know a Bear. If you are a person who acting matters a lot, I am one of those people. I will get pulled out of a movie like that. If the performance is not believable, go see this movie. Actually, if you like plot, go see this movie. If you like acting, go see this movie. I give this also a 5 out of 5. Okay, so far we're doing really good. Uniqueness. Now hear me out. I know what I said. It's very unique. It is very unique. Yes, it has been done before, but Grace, what are we going to do?
How are we going to rate uniqueness when it's been done before?
That's not for you to decide. And I've decided I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Claps, insert claps. I don't care. It was very unique in the storytelling. Again, I haven't personally seen a movie that balanced. It was genuinely horrifying, terrifying movie. It is a horror movie, but somehow found ways to not force comedy, not force humor into the movie. It felt very natural. It felt very organic almost. It felt like that is the place to put it. It wasn't like someone was throwing in a joke just to throw in a joke. And again, they wanted it to be very relatable. They wanted it to be, oh my God, I felt that before, or oh my God, I've seen that before, or oh my God, that's so me. And then immediately snap back to, oh wait, no, that's not me. I'm not a character in a horror movie. Does that make sense? We haven't had a good wishing movie in a while. We have not had a good wishing movie in a while. We haven't had a good horror movie in a while. This was one of the first horror movies in years that actually scared me. It was freaky. If you want to see a scary movie, and I don't even want to overhype it because I hate when I overhype things and then everyone says, Grace, you're wrong, you're an idiot, it wasn't that. I don't care. I'll die on this hill. Draw a hill, put me on it, dead, okay? Because this scared me. I'm not scared to say that. I'm not embarrassed. I go to horror movies to be scared and unsettled, and I haven't felt scared and unsettled in 1,000,000 trillion years, okay? This movie freaked me out, freaked my partner out. We were shaking our boots at the movie theater, okay? Uniqueness, 5 out of 5. Again, what are you gonna do? Sue me. Likeability. Listen, I don't know. I have not seen a single bad thing about this movie since I went and saw it. I have not seen anything bad on the internet. It's getting raving reviews. I can't see anyone not liking this movie. If you like scary, it's scary. If you like funny, there's some pretty funny moments. If you like good acting, it's there. If you like a good plot, it's there. If you like a unique storyline, you're sick of seeing demon possession, it's there. Like, it's a fun movie. It was a good watch. I want to go see it again, and I saw it 3 days ago. That was the first thing I said with the movie, and I said, I want to see it again. I need to pick up on the little things. I haven't felt that in so long after watching a movie, where I'm like, I want to watch it again. Think to yourself, when was the last time I felt that way? On a horror movie? That's what I say. Likeability, 5 out of 5. What are we gonna do? I gave this movie a perfect score. That's 20 out of 20, baby. This movie was so good. It is by far, hands down, bar none, whatever other expression you want to say, my favorite horror movie of the year. And I don't need to see the other ones. Well, I'm going to see the other ones. I'm going to see the other ones. But I don't need to see the other ones to know that it was my favorite horror movie of the year. I know that there's more in the year.
Grace, it's May.
Shut up. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Think about that next time before you say that to me. I know that. Okay? I have my calendar right there in the corner. I don't care. Do I think you should watch it? Have you been listening? Why are you still here? Yeah, I think you should go see the movie. And again, I'm scared to overhype it because what if I'm wrong? But I can't be. I've never been wrong before. How could I start now? Okay. Now. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. I don't want to hear any complaints. There's a spoiler right here. There's a spoiler. There's spoilers past it. We're going through the spoiler wall. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Spoiler wall. We're entering the spoiler zone. Okay. There's going to be spoilers in the spoiler zone. This is where I tell you about things in the movie. We're going to talk about the actual movie. You can only enter this door if you've seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, don't come here unless you're not going to see the movie. And then I'm pissed at you. Why are you not seeing the movie? I just told you why you should go see the movie. Okay, let me get at my little notes. I put on my little glasses. I do have glasses. I don't know where they are right now. I want to tell you a little bit more in depth about how I felt about it. And then we're going to answer a few questions. And I want to see what you guys think as well. Okay. I want to talk about his character. A few things that I think the movie did fantastic was explaining his character in little subtle things. A big thing for me was the cat. It was such a beautiful way to set up day one. We can't trust this character. We see open pill bottles on the floor. We see wet cat food all over, opened cans all over the place. This character's carelessness caused the death of another, which obviously happens 3 more times throughout the movie, including his own. I really liked that Curry immediately set up the character to not be trustworthy and to be selfish. His cat died and he's at the bar because he puts his own selfish love for a girl above the death of a very loved person. Even at the bar, when he tells that girl, hey, my cat died, she's like, what the hell are you doing here? He did that in ways where you weren't instantly just supposed to hate the character. It was just little things that he would do where you're like, hold on. Hey, hold on. You had pity for him at first until that first phone call with the man on the phone. Hilarious, by the way, where his first question is, how can I alter the wish? At this point, he knows that this is the wish. He doesn't care that he's taken a woman's bodily autonomy and her right to choose. He just cares that it's affecting him negatively and he just wants to change a little bit. I like that the horror wasn't just scary things. It was also the horror of this is someone you trusted. This is someone you've known your whole life and they can do this to you. The person is having all these terrible things done to him. The victim is also doing something terrible to the aggressor. It was very well done. Again, a humorous scene. The writing was magnificent. I love that scene. I like that it told us just a little bit about it. One thing I really liked about the magic stick is that we don't really know the rules. If we knew too much, we would be able to question it. At the end of the day, this guy was a coward. He couldn't bring himself to tell Nikki. He refused to even make an attempt to reverse the spell until it inconvenienced him. He heard her screaming on the phone in agony and hung up because he knew what was going on and he did not want to face it because he was happy. Okay, so we're going to address a few things. 1, the cat. 2, can it be good? Yes, I love that this movie gave us the answer. They told us yes. It is his fault that the wish did not go well. It was his carelessness, which we had seen throughout the movie, that caused the wish to go wrong. And I know he didn't know it was going to work, and maybe he would have put more time and thought into it. But it was just another hint at the kind of character that he has. We see the worker at the shop. He's fine. He said, I already used my wish. He's happy as a clam. We see people online in the Reddit forums saying, yeah, my life went great. everything's fine, or oh, it didn't work, so it must have had such a little effect on them. We see that you can successfully have a good wish. We also see that you can't. Words have weight. That is so important to me. When I heard the wish,
I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
I took that as I want her to love me more than she loves anybody else on earth. My fiance took that as I want her to love me more than anybody on earth can. And that was what's so powerful, is double entendres. He didn't, he made an offhanded wish and it had multiple meanings. That's what a bad wish is. Bad wish etiquette. Everyone knows that, okay? And even then, even if I didn't know a stick would work, I'm a little stitious. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. I probably would at least think about what I was wishing, but he did it just in such a fit of rage and frustration that he just didn't even think about the wording. But I thought that was very unique, because I was like, why is she going this nuts? If she just loves him more than any other person on this earth, there's probably only like, I don't know, max 20 people I love on this earth. If I loved one more than the other one, I wouldn't go nuts. But the wish took it as she loves this man more than anyone on earth has ever loved anything. That's nuts. We've also seen this trope of guy wants something so badly, and once he gets it, it's not what he wanted, and all of a sudden he doesn't want it anymore. And we see that even before shit got crazy, he was still getting over it. He was still like, oh, she's obsessed with me. Like, he wanted Nikki the way that she was. He changed her, and all of a sudden he doesn't want her anymore. He took everything from her. He took her life from her, and all of a sudden it's not for him. It's too much. And yeah, obviously it gets a little too much, but you know what I mean. Another thing, I love that we will never technically know whether Nikki liked him. Now, I have a thought on this. Here's my thought, Grace's thought, and you can agree with me or disagree in the comment. I've seen this has caused a lot of discourse. People think, oh, Nikki liked him because of the action, and Curry said he was hinting at it. One thing that was really interesting to me, regardless of whether she's supposed to like him or not, is the monologue she gives at the party. If you listen to it, it's an incestuous thing about Hansel and Gretel, and where she's basically saying she's going to have sex with her brother. What can you do? Okay. What was really interesting to me was that another point in the film, it's said from, maybe not a most reliable source. I think her name's Sarah. Forgive me. I'm, the friend. Nikki said that she thinks of you like a brother. I thought that was very interesting, because if Nikki had not really liked him and had really thought of him as a brother, that would make sense where we got the incestuous monologue later on about f***ing her brother. I thought that was very interesting. I think that alludes to the fact that Nikki did not have feelings for him, but I do like that it's left up for interpretation. That monologue is a whole nother thing. Very interesting. Curry apparently had his dad write it for him. His dad's a writer. I want to go back and listen to it again. I've read the script of it. Very interesting. As someone who loves Hansel and Gretel, I was a little confused when that happened. And I really want to know what's on that square. Her thing that she pulled. Surely it couldn't be read a monologue about your brother. Another thing, the ending. I know. Please tell me you've seen the movie at this point. The ending. I loved the ending. I was going to be pissed if that guy didn't die. But again, the ending I think was perfect. I loved the ending. I would have been furious if they were wished up on each other for till eternity. Okay. I love that he still didn't have the courage to do it. He died a coward. He instantly was regretting what he did. He could not die for someone else. He could not die to save someone else. He went to do it. He took the pills and immediately went to go make himself throw up, but she stopped him with her wish, right? But he was not going to do it. He was not going to save the day. He wanted to be this hero character, and he just couldn't do it. Now, some questions. I've seen people saying things online. A few things. One, what's going to happen to Nikki after all this? I have seen some really annoying answers. I have seen multiple people online saying that Nikki's going to get blamed for all this. In what world is Nikki going to get blamed for all this? She'll be fine. In my opinion, in a police who's going to jail situation, I think she'll be fine there. Mentally, for the rest of her life, she's okay. Movie's over, right? We're done. I have seen some discourse online, and I have some points to make. So here's Grace's points. Here's Grace answers to questions I've seen online. 1, was Nikki conscious the whole time? Or is it kind of like Severance, where she wakes up consciousness every once in a while, fading in and out? My personal opinion is that she's not conscious the entire time. She manages to break through certain periods, and that's where she gets the confusion and the what's going on. If she was conscious the whole time, she wouldn't look so confused and bewildered. I think that she just gets teleported. She wakes up here and she's kissing him, and then she wakes up here and she's killing someone. And I think it's more so fading in and out of consciousness, breaking the spell, which leads me to the second point. Entity, question mark? I have seen so many people referring to evil Nikki as the entity. I don't think that was an entity. I don't think she was possessed. I don't think it was an entity. I think it was a version of her that was succumbing to what the spell said. I think that what was interesting about the movie is that if any one of us breaks our psyche to that point, that's how we would act. I think it spoke to how a normal person, a good person like Nikki, who we see give money to a homeless man, and we see, you know, being fun and having a good time with their friends, hinting at she's a good, normal person, could snap if they were pushed to that point. She was told that she has to love this man more than anyone has ever loved anyone on planet Earth. I think that if any of us loved anyone more than anyone has ever loved before anyone else, that's how we would act. I think it was a testament to when people go a little nuts when they're in love, times 20. I don't think it was an entity. I don't think it was someone else. I think that was Nikki. I think that was Nikki when someone cranked her love dial to 1 million past anyone else's crank dial has ever been. Think of every person in real life that has killed someone for love and crank that times 20. Because remember, she has to love someone more than anyone's ever loved before. That was the result of that. Her real self was still hiding. It was still inside, and she could only break through the spell every once in a while, which I still am a little confused about why that happened. That was the only thing I was confused about, but I will say that the movie doesn't give us any information, so it kind of doesn't have to answer any questions, which I did like as well. We don't really know much about the stick or how it works, or, you know, the results or the rules per se, which answers all questions by not answering any questions. So power to them for that. I'm not going to question that too much, but I don't think that was an entity. To wrap it all up, I think this was a extremely well done movie that covers a litany of very serious topics: losing yourself in love, loss of bodily autonomy, the concept of control and abuse in a relationship, and while simultaneously being one of the scariest movies I've seen in a long time. I love this movie. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think Nikki was conscious the whole time and why. Let me know if you do think she was possessed and it was an entity and why you think that. I want to know. You know, this was a fantastic movie. I love that so much of it was left up to interpretation. Does Nikki like him? No. You can think she did, but you're wrong. But again, it's up for interpretation. What happens afterwards? Who knows? Did she like him? We'll never know because of his actions. It was a fantastic movie. I'd give it a 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. It's 5s all around on the P.A.U.L system. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, you shouldn't have watched that last part, but you should go see it anyway, because it's one thing to hear about it and it's another thing to experience it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching me talk to you about stuff I don't really have the right to talk about. I live, love you guys. Subscribe, like, give me all your money, give me your firstborn kid. Actually, I don't want your firstborn kid, but I will try and make more videos. And yeah, I also stream on twitch.tv.com at Gracie Apps. So thank you for Curry for making this movie, and thank you for everyone for being in it and for giving me my new favorite horror movie. Okay, bye.